Hello, buddy, and welcome to DenziNow here on Geek Carolina. I'm your host, Mike from Electric City Sentai DenziCaster, and today we are looking at episodes 41 through 44 of Kamen Rider Build. It's been a busy week here in our land, here in the House of Brown. I'm a father now, so if I seem a little distracted or if you hear a small baby crying in the distance, it just means that my son wants food. So, and mommy will be feeding him shortly. So, I'm just trying to record videos as I can, as real life will let me. So, we are going to talk about the next 4 episodes of Kamen Rider Build, which is just tremendous show. I can't speak highly enough of it. But before we do that, we've started a trend of trying weird and strange foods on these shows, on the DenziCaster shows particularly. We started with this cursed can that is behind me, and this will be the last time you see this can, one of our shows. That's the Nissan Top Ramen Pringles, and we'll be giving this to Dave the Head, who actually liked them. But we have some other weird foods, snack foods and whatnot, that we picked up on a trip to the Asian market when we were coming home from the hospital in Greenville. And we're going to need your help to help us pick out which one we're going to try next. But one that I'm going to try, because it's not really something I can share, is this. And I just want something to drink during the show. So I do not know what this is called. There was sort of a proper name on the receipt, but I could barely make it out. It had some letters strategically dropped out of it. This is from China. I saw bananas on it, and I like bananas, so I went with that. Apparently this is a banana yogurt drink of some sort, so since I'm going to need something to drink during the show, we're going to pop this bad boy open. Well, it sure smells like bananas. One moment. I'm not sure about this one. We'll get back to you. I mean, I bought it. I'm going to drink it. It's got a bit of a tang to it. So, anywho, back to your regularly scheduled show. These episodes of Kamen Rider Build. So, for those keeping track at home, we're on episodes 41 through 45. We're looking at The Truth of the Best Match, Legacy of Doubt, Another Build, and The End of Evolt. Just an editor's note, I suppose, a scheduling note. We will not be recording our next DenziNow episode for Kamen Rider Build until the series is done. There's 49 episodes in Kamen Rider Build, and so we're actually going to, since it's 5 episodes left, we're going to let the series conclude and then do the last 5 episodes as a single episode of DenziNow, instead of watching 4 and then coming back and doing one just on the season finale. So, of course, if you want full synopses and things of that nature, that's what Google is for. But just some broad strokes. In episode 41, Truth the Best Match, Shinobu Katsuragi, Sento's father, and the original lead researcher behind the Pandora box, and, frankly, Ryuga Banjo, the whole thing with a part of Evolt is contained within him and experiments went over. Well, the guy's alive. And in order to make sure that it's true, Ryuga is given an important piece of information, which contains a recording by Shinobu himself that basically gives details on the build system. And information that explains why certain matches are considered best matches, like Rabbit and Tank. And basically we start to uncover the truth about certain things throughout. And one thing, and I'll get to the whole best match thing in a minute, because there are elements of it that just struck me as interesting. Episode 42 is Legacy of Doubt, which serves as the debut of some new bottles, because we are actually getting some new bottles show up too, like the Lost bottles, which are these black full bottles. We actually get the debut of Fukuro and Kuwagata, full bottles. In Legacy of Doubt, uh, we get the rest of basically the backstory for Sento's dad. He's alive, he's well, and he's working for a vault. And basically that knowledge starts to bother people a lot. Apparently, Shinobu wants to collect all the lost bottles, add them to the black Pandora panel. The Pandora box panels are different colors. One of them's black. And they basically start to figure out that maybe there's something else to this. Maybe Shinobu's actually the guy in charge, and maybe he's the one pulling the strings. And Sento more or less refuses to believe it, our hero, and believes that the build system was built for a very righteous purpose, for a pure and just reason. And then suddenly another Kamen Rider build shows up, which turns out to be his father. We get a few new things that pop up. We get a new Lost Bottle. We get an episode, we're on 43, another build, properly enough named. We get another full bottle. We get another Lost Bottle, and we get to see Sento's father now using various best matches: Hawk Gatling, Nin Comic, Kaizaku Resha, so Pirate Train. We see him use Rabbit Tank in the previous episode. And basically, Sento still tries to believe in his dad, but things start to fall apart. Misora gets kidnapped by Evolt by the end of the episode. And we realize that Sento's father, Shinobu, as build, is more powerful than any of the heroic riders in their most advanced forms, even though he is in the base form of build. And effectively, we discover that the reason for that is because he built build for himself. It is built to his specifications. So if he's the one using it, it will be stronger than anyone else using it. And then the end of Evolt is episode 44. We get the debut of the Blizzard Knuckle, which is set up to be the new weapon for Ryuga to use as Cross Z. And in this one, Kazumi and Gintoku infiltrate Faust headquarters. So their intention is more or less go in, get information, get to Evolt, do what you gotta do. Mad Rogue and his army discover the location, surround them. Shinobu transforms into build again in front of Sento, and intends to take them all in to use them for his experiments. Using the line, "You were useless after all. It's because of you that humanity will be destroyed." Okay. Sento basically refuses. His father, frustration begins to stir, and ultimately we see the four heroic riders, Build, Cross Z, Grease, and Rogue, stand together united and presumably destroy Evolt. And we are left there at the end of episode 44. So, thoughts. First, things I liked, things I didn't like. So, what I liked out of these episodes. One, I will say I liked Rogue a lot in these episodes because a lot of the comedic BS that they've done with Rogue thus far has slacked off a lot. Basically, from the time of his breakdown to now, he's been wearing different garish outfits and almost as if he's trying to find himself in an extremely comedic way, in such a way that it occasionally breaks the mood of the show, which is not cool, especially for a show that thus far has had a very serious tone to it. Now, that said, here they really draw it back in. The closest comparison I can make to him now would be to Birth in Kamen Rider O's. When we have our wandering stranger with the milk, with the big milk jug on his back, full of coins, that's actually pretty cool, and he does certain things that are lighthearted, but he's still the hero, and you still get that he's the hero, and I like that. And I like it a lot better, frankly, than what they were doing up to this point with Rogue. But it feels like they finally got there, and now basically he may randomly have a T-shirt on with words that answer whatever question is going to be asked, as if he already knew he would be asked the question. And that's about as far as the comedic stuff is going right now. That I'm cool with. I continue to love Ryuga in the series. Cross Z is probably my favorite writer in this season. If I was still collecting secondary writer figure arts, I would probably try to get him. As it is, I've got a bunch of secondary writer figure arts I need to part company with. But that notwithstanding, I really, really dig that character a lot. I think it's a tremendously well done character. I like him. Grease, we see more out of him and more growth out of him, and we are now starting to see a partnership between Grease and Rogue, and so we're starting to see all the writers congeal into a tightly knit group. So that I really like. The designs and whatnot, we really don't get any new designs in this. The idea of Shinobu, Sento's dad, showing up doesn't bother me too much. It was a dangling thread that had been left because we were nothing conclusive as far as Daddy Dearest was concerned, but it makes sense, and I like that they're going to go back and they're going to explore that plot thread and move forward with it. We're going to move to the stuff I don't like now. I don't know how I feel about them basically setting him up in the last 10 episodes as the big bad. And not even the last 10. It's going to be like the last 8 or 9, and less than that, probably. This is something Kamen Rider has a tendency to do, which is to not give you a firmly established major villain that's actually the series' big bad until the 11th hour. And I've never liked that. Call me a stickler. I've always preferred having a defined antagonist from Jump Street. If there's going to be someone shadowy behind the scenes pulling the strings, I'd rather it be the same guy almost beginning to end. The original Kamen Rider show from 71 kind of set the template. You had the great leader of Shocker, who was basically a nameless, faceless voice, or as we sometimes would hear him referred to, the Blue Light Special. That just was a blinking blue light on a wall that whenever his voice came through. But he would have generals, and the generals would be the antagonist of the arc. And then at the end of the day, he would go and fight Kamen Rider himself, whether that's Colonel Zoll or Ambassador Hell or Dr. Shinigami, whomever. They would do that because I can either go fight Kamen Rider and I might get kicked in the face and die, or I can stay here and disobey the great leader and I will die, there's no doubt. And that kind of a relationship sets up the big bad to be so much bigger than he really is, and you never have to see him. I really wish they had done something like that here. My favorite Kamen Rider seasons are the ones where you pretty much know who the bad guy is going. They don't have to set it up from Jump Street, but it's got to come soon, right? Forze. I loved a lot for that reason. You pretty much knew it was the principal the entire time. Double with the guy pulling the strings behind Museum. I liked that a lot. But there was a lot in there that was just, some other shows are just really dicey, and this falls into that category of we're gonna change big bads at the 11th hour. I really dug the idea of it being the dude from Namba Heavy Industries for so long. I liked him as a big bad. I thought that he was a very convincing evil mastermind, and I liked it. And then when they switch it to Evolt, I'm like, okay, well, this makes sense. Because he has been here the entire time and playing different sides, because he was Bloodstark and so on and so forth. So it makes sense. I like that. And now suddenly he's out the door for somebody that you've heard about, and as far as we know, is the guy who helped create this weapon for right and justice and all that is good with the world, and only to find out, no, I built it because I wanted to be powerful, and if I'm the one wearing it, I'm the strongest rider of them all. That bothers me a little bit. That actually brings it down a peg, actually, in my book. I've said up to this point that to me this is the greatest Heisei Rider show to date. Certainly the best of the fall Heisei Riders. But now I have to drop it down a peg on my list. Still really no filler. Some of these episodes felt a little slow and a little filler-ish, but nothing that was true filler. You do need to watch every episode to keep the plot going, and that I really do like. And they've got 5 episodes left to prove me wrong and to really set Sento's dad up as either the big bad or have a way to bring Evolt back and let him carry throughout the rest of the show. One or the other. We'll say this. I do think it is really interesting to have the major villain, or at least who at this point is being portrayed as the potential big bad, to actually be the one using the powers of the hero. That build was made to be a villain. It was made with a sinister purpose in mind. And that really does kind of harken back to some of the ideas of Kamen Rider from the beginning. Of Kamen Rider is a weapon made for evil. He was made by Shocker. He's supposed to be a Shocker Gaijin. So there you go, right? So all things considered, I'm still really into the show. I'm still really digging it. It is still must-see TV for me. We know the titles, episodes 45, 46, and 47. Episodes 48 and 49, I don't know the titles of yet. But we are still waiting for episode 45, The Scientist of Hope. Episode 46, An Oath to Be the One. Episode 47, 0 Degree Flames. And then the unnamed episodes 48 and 49, with 49 being the series finale. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And the finale of what will be one of my favorite Heisei Rider shows of all time. The show is very easily in my top 5 all-time Heisei Rider shows, and higher than that, we'll see. They got 5 episodes to claim their spot. So, with that said, we will be continuing DenziNow with Kamen Rider Zeo coming out. So I'm very much looking forward to that series as well. It's going to be an anniversary season. It looks really cool. I'm digging what I'm seeing so far for it. So please look forward to that. That'll pick up right where we leave off with this. I'm still struggling to play catch up and get Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger watched. So we can do some of that here on DenziNow as well. I might just wind up doing some really, really, really accelerated episodes. I know I've done the first 4, and I know they're in the 20s now, I think. So we are going to try and get that done. Denzi Blitz, just so everybody knows what's coming up in the future on the Denzi shows. On Denzi Blitz, we are going to be doing, at least I'm going to be doing, Ultraman Season 1. So the original Ultraman television show, that's going to be the next thing we do on the Denzi Blitz. Though I am currently watching Space Sheriff Charivan, at least the first 7 episodes, the ones we can find to watch, as a special request for a Denzi Blitz bonus. So that'll be the next thing you see come out from Denzi Blitz. We are also going to be seeing our friend Chris from 8 Star Anime is going to be doing a series of Denzi Blitz episodes. He's going to be looking at Power Rangers RPM, which he has never seen. but it's a tremendous. It's arguably the best Power Ranger season of all time, and I think I just heard my son. It's arguably one of the best Power Ranger seasons of all time. So definitely worth watching if you haven't, and I'm looking forward to seeing Chris's thoughts on the series. I hope you guys are too. Our next giveaway here on the channel is going to be when we hit 150 subscribers. We've got some posters over here we're going to be giving away from some tokusatsu, from a tokusatsu film. I just got a bunch of posters from one movie that we're going to be giving away one at a time, viewer's choice. So if you win the contest, you get to pick the poster you get. That'll be really cool. So spread the word. Share, like, subscribe, do all those wonderful things. We greatly appreciate it. And if you want to help us out here on the channel, you can do that by heading over to either of our two stores, whether it's Cafe Press or Redbubble. Links down below in the show description. Now, I did say that we were going to need your help with something. And I still have not made up my mind on this banana yogurt drink. It is... I like the bottle. Actually starting to grow on me. That's not bad. I don't think I can drink that whole bottle in one go. So, when we went to the Asian market, we had to pick up, it was a minimum $10 purchase for a credit card, credit or debit card. So, my wife wanted an ice cream, I got her an ice cream, and I had to pick up a bunch of other stuff to hit $10. So, I picked up some snacks and chips and such, and I don't know when the next episode of DenziCaster, when our next recording will be. I know when the next episode airs, but I don't know when the next recording session will be. So, you guys need to pick what we're going to snack on next. And you're going to do that in the comments down below. You just let us know. So, a few things we have here, and I'm going to be honest, I can't readily identify all of them, which is just going to make this even more fun. So, this is from a company called Paldo, crab chips. So we've got these. These are from Korea. So Korean crab chips. They look a little bit, if you look there at the packaging, they look a little bit like graham cracker cereal. They look a little like Honey Grams to me, or Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I seriously doubt you have these with milk. But yeah, so we got Paldo crab chips. That's one option. Another option, also from Paldo, are Paldo shrimp snacks. Obviously, this is also from Korea. These are basically from, it kind of looks like shrimp flavored Cheetos, maybe? That's what I'm guessing, or like they look a little bit like crinkle fries. But we got that. Option number 3 here is from a company called GGE, which is in Taiwan. And this is tempura flavored ramen snack. What kind of tempura? I have no clue. It doesn't seem to say. I'm looking at the ingredients list. I'm going to guess crab, because I see crab extract listed as one of the ingredients. So, I guess maybe crab tempura? Although looks like a little cartoon shrimp there on the bag. So, one of those. Or, what is got to be one of the most interesting flavored, interesting snack things I've ever seen in my life for a brand name. Lonely God. This one is, let me look back here on the label. This was also made in China. And this is listed, there's nothing on here beyond the words Lonely God in English for me to try to decipher what this is. But on the back it says Red Braise. I'm thinking that it might be hot. I could be horribly wrong. But these are like these twisty snacks, kind of like Frito twists as far as what they look like. But yeah, so let us know in the comments below which one you'd like to see us try on our next DenziCaster episode, and we will subject myself and my fellow co-hosts to whatever in the world it is you pick. Should be fun. Either it'll be really good or it'll be really funny, one or the other. We've yet to have someone puke on this show, but there's a first time for everything. Seriously, though, I actually think some of those will be good. Some of them I have no clue. So I don't set out to pick out disgusting things. I set out to pick things that we will try, and we will see if we like them or not. So, folks, until next time, I thank you so very much for joining us. We've got the next time on DenziNow for Kamen Rider Build. We've got the finale, folks. We are almost at the end of Kamen Rider Build. Until then, folks, I'm Mike, and I'll see you around.